How are you?
I love this. I love this, man. We don't have to deal with the sun too long today.
Creature of the night over here.
Huh?
You're a creature of the night.
I am. Actually, this was my favorite solstices. I always like the winter one better. All right, George. It's George and Mike. I'm gonna let in. George will probably just go right into the intro. Maybe I don't know. It's always interesting to see what George is gonna do.
It's in life, it's always interesting to see what George is going to say.
Yeah.
He's an interesting guy.
He's quite interesting.
It's a kind of an interesting look on his face right now.
I know he looks perplexed.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Good.
What's going on?
There he is. Hey, George.
Happy solstice.
Happy solstice.
Yeah, happy solstice.
What's going on this morning?
It's solstice. I don't see anybody.
Yeah, happy solstice.
Mikey's delay. Like he'll say something and then a second later you'll hear him.
That's what they told me when I was in elementary school.
Is that what you learned in elementary school?
I was delayed. Yeah.
Yeah, I got called.
I think they were being fined.
Yes, that was the best. That was the best time for self-esteem.
Well, this is horrible this morning, huh?
Well, where you are, yeah, probably.
Is it snowing up there, Mike?
It had snowed. About
we got maybe. Yeah, that's about all we got.
I can still see the grass, through the snow.
Yeah, there's a few blades here and there. I don't know. Pretty nice to be out this morning. Yep.
What are you eating?
Oatmeal with
What's that in there?
Walnuts, apples, raisins, and honey.
That sounds pretty good.
Here's the trick.
This guy's getting you Christmas shopping
I used to
done?
just throw everything.
I'm going back to the old ways, man.
Oh,
I'm going
that's
to get my
nice.
aviators. I'm growing a
That
mustache
is.
back.
I remember your look. I remember that look from the 70s
The porn stash.
That's right.
when you just got out of the Navy. That was a sport. That was the look you were sporting.
Films. I make films. I make films in alleys.
Kojak.
That's what I do.
Kojak.
Yeah.
He dances like this. Point to the ceiling.
I
Point
remember
to the floor.
Kojak.
Point to the ceiling. Point to the floor.
Is it true, Dave, that your mother
Ran out of
paid
nowhere.
for disco dancing lessons too?
You talking about my mother?
Yeah. Did she pay for you and Mike to get disco dancing lessons back in the 70s?
I didn't need disco dancing lessons, man. I taught them. Point to the ceiling. Point to the floor. Point to the ceiling. Point to the floor.
That's right.
Point to the door.
Right.
Wow, fast computers are fun. All right. That's enough of that.
Yeah, that's enough of that.
Yeah, that was enough of that.
So yeah, I still got some Christmas shopping to do. How about you guys?
I'm done.
Good for you.
I'm finished. I'm finished, I'm telling you.
How about you, George? You get all your shopping done?
Yeah, well, I got to hit Danielson Surplus if you're interested.
I am actually.
Later on.
When are you going for that?
Let's see, about 3 or 4, maybe.
Yeah, that'll work. I got to grind meat this morning. I'm gonna make some burger. All the scraps from the deer get ground in. Remember that deer I got last weekend?
Yeah.
I butchered it yesterday, and I got to grind up the scraps into burger today.
Yeah, fucking clock.
It's a chore. It's another chore. I got to drop off the bones and all. I got to put out in the woods for the animals to eat.
You don't make like a bone broth?
Yeah, I do, but I don't use all the bones. So I make like I got the neck and leg bones, and I'll make a soup out of them. But you can't fit all the whole deer bones into. I don't have a pot. I need a 55-gallon drum or something.
Well, not all at once. Not all at once.
No, but you gotta, it's not just feeding my family. You gotta feed other people's families too. The foxes and the coyotes and the birds. The birds love the suet, and and you got to spread it around a little bit.
Rats.
Rats,
Feed rats.
whatever. As long as they're away from my house, I don't care. The mice will eat the bones. Calcium. I can't even fathom the idea of putting that stuff in the landfill. It's like so disrespectful and wasteful. People do it, but they're fucked anyway. They're
Yes,
fucked.
they are. So I read another ghost story. Ghost in the house. It just came.
Keep the suet
I'm
for cooking
reading a lot
oil.
about dead people walking around. They gotta lighten up.
George, deer fat doesn't
Really
make good
Lincoln.
cooking oil.
What's that?
It's too waxy and sticky. Pork fat makes better
okay.
cooking oil.
Lard. You want lard.
Yeah, lard, beef fat too.
That's exactly what you want.
But deer fat sticks to your lips like it feels like you put chapstick on. So a lot of people don't like it. I don't mind it, but a lot of
Yeah,
people
but you
don't
can
like
still
it.
cook with it, can't you?
Yeah, but then it gets that waxy feeling all over your food.
I liked it. We used to have burgers at the
I like
at
the
Gun
good.
Club. Roast everything.
You can still cook with it though.
Yeah, I suppose. But
It's
it doesn't
good
taste
for
as good as
stews.
olive oil. Olive oil tastes better.
Yeah.
But
That
like I
Willie
say,
Lincoln book.
Give it to me. I'll cook with it.
there's a good high percentage of fat in
Give
the.
it to me. I'll cook with it.
All right, you're gonna have to dig through my scrap bag though.
Ew. My scrap bag. I'm gonna start telling people. Yeah, could you?
I put all the scraps, the bones and stuff.
You always give me that one. Every time I go over there, I want you to dig through my scrap bag. I'm done with that. I've moved on.
Oh man,
That's my scrap bag.
grew out of that nonsense.
Relax. I got a scrap bag.
Euphemisms,
Things
man.
in there.
So I had tenderloins for supper last night. I was gonna save them for Christmas, but they were too small, so I just had them for supper last night. Man, melt in your mouth, cooked perfectly. I deglazed the pan with brandy, with really good brandy.
Oh,
Poured that over it. Oh man, it was so good. Melt in your mouth.
nice.
That's right. I ate Bambi.
Great, man.
I ate Bambi's mom.
Aw.
So,
Coming from Bambi next. What was Bambi's girlfriend's name?
so let's see that.
What was it?
Amber.
I haven't seen that movie since I was 6 years old.
I know she
I
had some
think you're
kind of.
thinking about a porn adaptation.
I think Dave was. He got Amber. They worked together down at the strip club.
Amber.
Bambi and Amber.
That's red. Red bad. Run. It's a redhead. So I got those F. Scott Fitzgerald books. I got for like $2 each. I got 4 of them. Well, I'll never find them. I got like one, Tender is the Night. I think I'll try. I'll attempt that one. That was a movie. Jason Robot. It's all over the book. It's the promotional book for, the movie.
Does it have a penguin?
I didn't see it. I just got it.
No, is there a penguin on the cover?
I think back then it's before it didn't make Penguin yet. It was still floating around as a thing, like a new thing, I guess. I don't know much about it yet, but I'm gonna read the book. Then I'm gonna go find that Jason Robot movie. It's probably free somewhere. I probably won't have to pay too much to see it. So that's how I'll do this week. I want to do that.
That's cool. I've been listening to these old science fiction short stories from the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Yeah, cool.
They're written by Philip K. Dick and Ray Bradbury and like all these they're famous writers now, and there's these early stories like right after the war, and they're every one of them has to do with battles, with fighting either aliens or the Russians or
Oh yeah. I wonder why.
Yeah, it's pretty funny though.
It's what they know. You write what
Yeah.
you know. And they knew some fucked up shit.
What was on people's minds back then,
Yeah.
It's 1948, and you
Space
just,
comedies.
say again, George. I didn't hear you.
Space commies.
Space commies. That's
Hey,
right.
you know what I saw last night?
What's that?
I saw what I saw last night was a Christmas Carol. I saw a Christmas Carol at the Woonsocket Stadium.
Really?
Christmas Carol at the Woonsocket Stadium.
Was it a live play or was
And
it?
it was beautiful. They had a full orchestra, and they had all these people singing all these beautiful old English Christmas carols, the Victorian era, and it was absolutely beautiful. And it was a wonderful thing. Yes, it was a live play at the Woonsocket Stadium. It's wonderful. Highly recommended. But yeah, they had this
I go
beautiful
to those things,
orchestra. They had all these people with beautiful voices, choral arrangements. Just it's just so much music. It was just absolutely beautiful.
Those,
The production itself,
those
was
productions.
a little wonky, but the music was just the best. It was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, that's
Those
cool.
productions
Live
with
shit.
a full
Anyway, I
orchestra
don't
are
know if you
great.
could hear that. This connection's kind of, but
Those productions with a full orchestra are pretty wild.
I'm sorry, what?
The productions
It
with
was
the
a
full
local
orchestra.
production. It wasn't a national touring production.
Yeah. But they have live music.
Yeah, it was
full orchestra.
beautiful. Classic, wonderful. Flutes,
I think the
cellos,
acid just
violins,
kicked in.
organ, piano, all that beautiful stuff.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Well, this was wonderfully worthwhile.
Now I want to
enjoyed it
go.
much better than the last Trinity one I went to last year. The Trinity one just sucked. I couldn't
Really?
believe it completely awful. But anyway, it was great. If you get a chance, check it out.
We went
I
to
mean,
the
just for the music alone, it was wonderful.
Just for the fact that it's live.
we went to see
Anyway,
it.
I don't know how much of this you're getting because I know the connection's kind of poor this morning, for my part anyway.
Yeah.
We went to see a Christmas Carol over at the Rochester Opera House.
Oh, Woonsocket Stadium Theater in Woonsocket. Oh, nice. So it's probably a similar thing, right? Local production, local actors and whatnot.
In
Maybe, I
Rochester,
don't
they
know.
use
Are you getting any of this?
Rochester. Yeah. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I can hear you fine.
Okay. Yeah, we went to see it over at the Rochester Opera House, and what they do there is they use some local actors, but there's like a Broadway contingent that comes in, and they
Uh-huh.
pull some local actors, um, but it's canned music. It's not orchestra,
Yeah. It's
It
nothing
sounds
like
great, but
a live orchestra, you know.
this really adds a lot to it. But
There's a show.
I was just one of the best things I've seen in a long time. Not that I get to see a lot of these kinds of things, but certainly compared to Trinity last year, it was certainly, much, much better. Much more of an enjoyable experience.
Did you go with just the two of you?
No, the whole fam family with the McDonald's as well, with the sister-in-law and her family too.
That's something I ain't done in a million years.
That's awesome. What a great time.
Yeah, it was a wonderful night out. The snow was falling. It was still in the air. It was great.
well, how does it compare to the Trailer Park Boys?
Which I watched yesterday afternoon, and it was wonderful. Yeah, it's nice to see it again.
That's my favorite Christmas movie.
What I liked is how they made the camera lens fuzzy, and you had all these Christmas lights, so you get this like feeling of old timey like Christmas specials and whatnot.
Yeah, they pulled the leaves off
It was
the trees.
nicely done. Yes, they did,
They're wearing parkas.
and they trucked in the snow.
Yeah. It was warm
Right
out.
from
They were
ice
wearing
creams.
winter clothes.
Yeah,
They were baked.
but they pulled it off. It was nice.
You know, the Hallmark Christmas movies. Every year they come out with new Christmas movies, right? They filmed one at Laura's school where she works. That was one of the sets, and they did it in July. It was like the hottest, or late June, or it was really hot. It was in the 90s, and they trucked in all this snow, and they had to do this Christmas shoot in the summer, in the hottest part of the summer.
The snowmakers and whatnot. They shot.
Yeah.
Filming the Fargo was like that. It wouldn't snow. It
I
wouldn't
like it
snow
when
when they were filming
they
that
shoot
year.
snow all over the green leaves of the trees, and they make all these green. Well, they filmed that up in Canada, though, right?
I thought
Quebec.
some of that was filmed outside because I thought I saw there.
Actually, they filmed that up in Ontario, and is it delay or is it,
Yes, this is a little bit.
I think I have a delay.
Yeah.
I end up talking over you guys without realizing it. God damn it. Well, anyway, happy solstice.
Hey,
Happy
yeah.
solstice.
Fuck it, man. I'm just gonna be drunk and fucking stoned for the week, man. I'm just gonna fucking say, who gives a shit? I was sitting there watching Mr. Lee and Randy getting drunk, and I was thinking I need a drink in my hand, so I have to go, and I made myself an eggnog with them Jamesons, and it was wonderful, Hard to get in the spirit.
Yeah, man, that's what it's all about.
So fuck it.
Getting drunk and stoned with your friends and family,
For the rest of the week.
just like Ricky
Yeah.
in jail. You get party for 12 days straight.
Well,
Yeah.
supposedly, the new movie's out December 6th.
Yeah, I haven't seen it around here.
Mm.
Probably gonna have to wait till it goes to video.
I was seeing the big screen if I can.
Speaking of those Hallmark Christmas, all these streaming services have enjoy it greatly.
Yeah, there's quite a few collections. I was watching a collection
Anyway,
shorts like that, like kind of like Black Mirror, but
That's all
done
I got.
in Indonesia. They were Indonesian. They had subtitles, but they were all science fiction, fantasy kind of stuff like Black Mirror. It's pretty cool.
right. And the Koreans do a pretty good job. South Koreans do a pretty good job with some of those as well. They got a pretty
Yeah.
good eye for science fiction, as well as the Japanese too, of course.
The Chinese too.
They get a little more into like the involved sexual fantasy kind of thing, you know. I don't know, but
did that one,
Yeah.
the Wandering
I like a
Earth,
good
you know, which
sci-fi.
was totally implausible. You know, that the Earth would leave the sun's orbit and not just freeze to, you know, but the special effects were unbelievable. Really, really one of the coolest looking movies, you know.
And isn't that wonderful? If you can imagine it, you can put it on screen in a fairly convincing way with CGI. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, they can create just about anything. Makes it wonderful.
I saw this
I was listening
nature
to
program, but it was all dinosaurs, but it had David Attenborough narrating it. It was just like one of his nature programs, but it was all dinosaurs. It was like a 4-part series. It was really cool. They looked real. They looked like they were walking around. They recreated the environments they were in. Like, pretty wild.
Yeah, like some of the generative AI right now is pretty amazing. You can't tell the difference between that and real life. And like I did Gemini, and it'll write the
Gemini's
emails
evil.
for you. So now, like when I get emails like from work, I'm wondering, am I talking to an AI right now? Because this lady doesn't feel like doing it. Because her response the other day was just like kind of AI-ish. You know, I mean, it just like, I don't think this is really her, but it's her face on.
We're gonna start.
I take it.
We're gonna.
AI fucks with it and then sends it out. You know, and like I had to read the.
We're gonna start
"Sure, this is what you
imitating.
meant,"
We're
and
gonna
it
start
wasn't.
sounding like AI.
That's a pain in the ass.
That's
That
what's
shit's
gonna
everywhere.
happen. Is we're gonna start sounding like AI.
Right? Yeah.
This is true, Dave.
If you use it. People
So-
The world we're living in, we're gonna.
Cool.
It's just gonna be more and more of this stuff. That's
it trains on its own shit too. It's
You sound
making
just like
internet
AI.
shit. So now it's training on its own fucking shit. You know what I mean? It's made shit, and now it's being
Just like a
trained
person.
on its shit. It's
Just
gonna
like a
make
person.
big pile of shit.
Just like a person. Just like a real person.
Yeah.
So Sequoia was telling me about some of the dark sides of
I don't think I
spots,
like
you know?
them. They don't
thinks
like you.
he thinks Gemini's evil. He
Yeah.
thinks Gemini's
I got that
actually
like
evil.
almost right away. I'm talking to somebody who don't like me. He's
Yeah.
fucking with me.
It comes from whoever's training it, really. Just like a kid.
We are. He's the ultimate human being, man.
No, not we. There's someone training him.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
There's
it
someone
takes-
training him. There's a parent, Dave. Think of him as a parent. And there are good parents and there are bad parents.
Yeah, but it's all right. It's nature nurture. All right. You didn't have everything to do with raising your kid. You know, it goes out in the world and then it gets its own shit. And like
Right.
and then when it starts interacting with us, its child that's supposed to be nice.
and you
we're
will
turning people
do
into
what you are
fucking
told
heartbeat,
until
man.
the rights for you are sold.
The point I'm trying to make, David, I think you're missing, is that these things, you do have an influence on your kids. You know, just like humans. They're just like humans. They're raising these bots. You have to teach them, like, you know, if you have an evil teacher who's raising this bot, it's going to make an evil bot. You know. And
I
yeah,
would
sure,
say
they'll
it's
go off
evil,
on their
though.
own, but it's got to start somewhere. It starts with the first people who are training them. That's what people are doing. That's what Sequoia's doing. He's training them. And there are some that are worse than others.
Yes, and who's going to use that? Who's going to use that? Like all these marketing people are going to use that to better market fucking bullshit to us. You know, get us
Right
one
to
of the
you
most vulnerable.
specifically.
We're young and impressionable.
It's going to do a
So
personality.
we go through this arc where we're young, we're very young and impressionable, and then we get pretty savvy, like in the middle, but on the tail end, like where I'm entering, we get more and more vulnerable again because we're getting older and stuff like this. But there was a time in our youth when we were less and less vulnerable to that. So early in the curve, we were much more vulnerable to this stuff. And then we get savvy, and now as we get older, it's harder and harder to resist this stuff. Plus, they're getting much more sophisticated. And
Here's the
who better to exploit AI than commercial interests, designed to market shit toward us.
Right.
So,
right.
I was listening to Art Bell last night, and it was from
Cool.
10 years ago, and they were talking about AI and where
Yeah.
it was at. Right, it was pretty interesting.
At night, in the nighttime. Yeah.
Yeah,
right,
So
Dave.
what
That's,
is the
that was
morning?
the
That was
best
nice.
time
They're gonna
listen
scrape
to
you.
Art Bell at night when you're working a third shift job late at night. That was the best time to listen to Art Bell, like
Look at
late
it,
in the
man,
wee
full
hours of the
moon.
morning.
Yeah. Sitting in a
they
car.
had an AI. They had an AI expert on 10 years ago, and they were talking about voice recognition and how that's how far that's come, and this was 10 years ago.
I got a scary face scan by the government. Like I held the phone up to me, right, and it did this like geometry thing, and it says, "Okay, you're done." It's ID.gov or whatever the fuck, so you can log on to IRS sites and all this crap. And it was like, wow, I did just like a science fiction movie. Like I got it's all face right. If I walk into a subway, it knows it's me. I'm it. The satellite has a beam on me, and everywhere I go now, you know. It was the weirdest thing though, the way it did it. I did, it said hold the phone up to your face, and I go, and they do, what the fuck? I said, okay, we're done. Oh no! It did like put all the points on my my whole skull, and then it made this flash,
I've seen that.
and it was all geometric, and then it disappeared, and then it said you're done. This is now.
I've seen that scene in a movie. Yeah.
So why'd you do it?
My wife's getting the citizenship, right? And I'm doing the paperwork, which is how I devoted last weekend. That was fun. But it's in the system now. Now we're,
You gotta hurry up, man. You better get that done.
this is time to get kicked out.
She's gonna get rounded up.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh my
well,
God.
My wife's going to be the Spanish teacher in the school. I said, I don't know about that Spanish teacher. Maybe you should take a look at her. Huh?
I thought you guys were moving to Italy.
What?
I thought you guys were moving to Italy.
Yeah, I got to retire first, Mikey. I can't just sail away. Go away from. Well, I might.
Yeah,
I mean,
so what are you
that
waiting
might
for?
happen,
So what are you waiting for?
Across the pond,
So what are you waiting for? Like 67? Are you waiting
Yeah.
till 67, or are you waiting?
What are you waiting till 80?
65 or what?
67. That's when I got a pension. I'm not like they can do what they want with that Social Security, I guess. They're gonna whatever. And I got family, so then there's that. And I ain't scared. I don't give a fuck. I ain't never been scared. I ain't gonna be scared.
You're always scared.
Yeah, I ain't scared. I always say
You
that.
love
but
scaring
I'm
yourself.
scared.
You love being scared.
I ain't scared. I ain't.
Well,
Right.
that's the wonderful thing about age is that you get less and less scared. It's like,
Oh,
fuck
nothing
it,
matters, George, man, right?
It's like, what do you
Like, what the fuck? They're gonna give me life in prison. What does that
Fuck it.
mean?
I don't give a shit.
3 weeks?
Fuck it. Bring it on.
When you're scared all the time, that becomes the norm.
Yep. You train yourself to be that way. So be happy. Like practice happy. Just laugh your head off. Like for no reason. It'll just catch on,
You know what I do sometimes?
Right.
It's like when you're hunting, you got to meditate, right? So you can be still and calm. And so what I do is I just picture my friends and family's faces laughing. Like, yeah, all you guys. I've like picture you guys just laughing and
Oh, that's
smiling, like
cool.
at some moment we had, some joke we had, or
Yeah,
whatever. And I just think about that as a meditation, and it makes me happy.
Pepe, where's my wipes?
That's cool. Oh, I heard something about sleep, Mike. I'm always now I'm picking up on sleep everywhere I go because of you. And apparently we used to get up for 2 hours at night. That was a pattern.
Huh.
And they actually called it the watch. Like they were like people would just get up and they go visit and shit, like between 2 and 4 in the morning, stuff like that. And there's people who still do it, but apparently that's it seemed it's
I do it.
like it's natural, it's a normal thing.
Well, it's nice to know it's natural, but it makes me tired because then you get up too early. Like if you could sleep in,
Yeah.
like when you finally fall back asleep at 3:30 and your alarm goes off at 4, that sucks.
Yeah, this was about modern sleep is like all fucked up. We're doing it wrong. That was
That's
the
right.
thing, so I clicked on it. And
You're
it said
absolutely
all these
right,
other
kid.
things that
It
we
was-
used to do. But
So
like,
go to bed earlier because we used to
Yeah,
go to
right.
bed earlier.
yeah, Reddit, sunset, you know,
Yeah.
dusk.
Go to bed earlier. Wake up in the middle of the night. Watch the fire.
Oh,
Make
watch out for
babies.
like cave
Right,
bears,
it's so-
right? Like you get up for 2
Yeah.
hours. Like we did. I've done this. Like in the military, somebody's up all the time, right? You wake somebody up 2 to 4. You guys fucking watch the door, you know. So that could be like natural, like from cave bears and fucking the other shit that was out there.
Lions and tigers and bears.
We evolved somehow to do that. They don't explain that. Nobody knows why.
Yeah,
you
well, it's
know,
it's part of like working in mills and being in the military. So much of the last century was made to regulate our whole way of life, you know, to accommodate mills, military service, conformity, you know, like this,
The
mass
bell.
consumption. But you're right. I mean, our natural inclination was to go to bed early, wake up in the middle of the night, do stuff, get stuff done, and then catch some more sleep before dawn and whatnot. You're right, Dave. I read a little bit about that, and it was quite a thing.
yeah.
And napping in the noontime.
Yeah, the siesta. That
Right.
was disrupted
Exactly.
the other one. Actually,
Yeah.
that was
It's-
part of some societies did the siesta, and that night thing went away. Right? It was just that one, and like England had it. Like that happened in England. People would get up for like 2 hours, and there was actually people who would go get coffee and shit, and then go back to bed. They called it the watch, and they didn't have a reason for it. It was just what they did. It was just a thing they did. Some of it might have to do with the awful beds, like there were like bed bugs and fleas, and like people didn't. They'd have a pile of laundry on the floor and shit. Nobody had a mattress. You know what I mean? It was like rats and all this other shit. Maybe you had to just get up because you're going mad.
It's like straw, and critters live in straw and stuff besides us, you know, and
Mosquitoes.
yeah, it's-
Mosquitoes will wake you up in the night.
Yeah, rats. England, London. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm getting. Yeah, okay. Something just
I've
big.
seen that, you know, like the little people in Africa and stuff, the Bushmen. They get up and tend the fire. You know, it's about tending the fire. Really,
Yeah.
they have to keep the fire going
that's
in the middle of the
worldwide.
camp.
Yeah,
That'd be
Yeah,
my job.
you know,
I'd take
a
that
world-
And they
job.
get up, they talk and laugh, and probably have something to eat, and then go back to sleep.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
you
I've
do
done that camping, like, you know, the real primitive camping when you're camping next to a fire and it's like wintertime.
Yeah,
The fire and the coals last for a couple of hours, and then you get cold. You wake up and you like it's been like
Yep.
2-3 hours you've been asleep. You build up the fire again. Eventually, you fall asleep again.
So- sounds
couple
like
more
back at
hours.
the Echo program.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
the people.
Tending
Like,
wood stoves, tending fires on the trail, watching, doing bed checks, all that stuff. Yeah, it was. Only thing is, we couldn't compensate by having a siesta in the afternoon. That's what made it really suck.
Yeah.
I think siesta is a wonderful concept.
no, it's a wonderful
That's,
thing. Yeah, all for it.
Yeah.
Doesn't jive with our corporate.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
good thing about that's what you can look forward to in retirement is that you can just have a siesta whenever you want.
Well, you know that they give you an hour lunch a lot of places, right? That's what that's for.
Probably all
I
the
used to
better
drink
for.
it, but I've slept it too. I've done both with that stupid hour, like in the middle of your workday, you had to punch out and go away for fucking a solid hour and come back, try to get going again. I hated
Yeah.
that. I said I'll just plow through, man. I just want to get out early.
Yeah.
You know, I hated that thing so much. I'd always get in trouble when I was young. Holy fuck! I go to a bar. My fucking. One time they had me paint the lines on the floor in the
see,
shop.
you do it.
Yeah.
You were doing it
This is
wrong,
summer.
man. You needed to go out. You needed to go out and sit under a tree and meditate for a while. Then you'd be like all rejuvenated.
Yeah, well, through my life, I've done all things
Go to a bar,
with that hour.
fucking bar.
I haven't actually had that thing in a long
You
time.
put bar. You put me in a. You put me in a bar in the middle of the day anywhere. I ain't going nowhere afterwards. You know.
Going to bed.
This here's got a good jukebox. I found a bar with, hey, what can I do? I didn't have the song. It's not on an album, you know what? I remember the day I got that 45, I went nuts.
It's like the worst place.
I almost wore it out.
That's like the worst. That's like the worst place to go if you want any kind of motivation for the rest of the day. It's fucking bar.
It
Cute, a
depends
cute
on what you're
bartender.
motivated to do.
Oh, and you wanted to stop thinking.
That's like
You wanted to just try to put
that's
your
fucking giving
brace
up. Man.
aside.
That's like
You
giving
know,
up.
it's a way of coping with the stresses of day-to-day life. You know,
Oh,
go
yeah.
have a few drinks and forget about
Play pool.
the shit you have to
I wa-
deal with.
I wasn't drinking, I was playing pool. I was playing games.
And you do.
I got pretty good there. I didn't do too bad. I played constantly for like, I don't know, 8 months.
I wasn't even good at night drinking. Never mind day drinking.
Yeah, you ain't no drinker.
No, day drinkers, they're professionals.
I gotta learn.
Yeah.
It's a skill. You don't come out of the womb that way, man. You gotta go work at it. You know, there were chances to get out. It wasn't
you
like
give me a-
cocaine or
you give me
anything like
one
that.
beer. If you gave me one beer in the middle of the day, it's like, see you next Sunday, man. I'm done for like the rest of the week.
Yeah, now,
Amateur.
Where you go? Can you get out that?
if I drink a beer now, that'll actually give me a hangover the next day and everything. Or I'll just start having a hangover later that day. Yeah.
Hangovers. Yeah, who misses those?
Oh, man, I start getting a hangover now once we start
idea how I
drinking.
survived any of it. You know, I was just like, you know, life's rough enough. Let's make it even harder.
I'm getting a headache right now.
I'm gonna hobble myself. I didn't want to go too far. I didn't want to like show everybody up or anything. So I wore a lead suit to the race.
I remember a time where I used to think, what's a hangover?
Uh,
I just, I had partied last night, but I feel fine now.
Nah, it looked glamorous. There's some movies almost like celebrated it back then. You know what? Like
Oh, yeah.
chain smoking, drinking. If you watch like an old movie now, they got like a drink. They like hard liquor. You know, and they're functioning during the day. You know,
Oh, yeah.
come on.
There are people that drink all day.
Did you ever see Mad Men? Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
it. I didn't watch the series, but
Well, that's all that is like smoking and drinking, like
and drinking whiskey,
Liquor.
hard liquor.
oh, what the fuck?
Scotch. Yeah. It's like, way of life, hitting the scotch
What
all
happens to your
day.
body? What's going on in your
suffer
body on
from
a
it. cellular
cellular level during a hangover?
Your cells have hangovers. They're walking around like, oh.
They're dehydrated. They're having a fucking mutiny in each cell.
It's a pandemic.
Each cell is having a mutiny.
They're all yelling at you. Why'd you do that? Don't ever do that again. Never again. How many times have you said never again?
Oh,
I'm never going to drink again. Ever, ever again.
a million plus infinity. And I mean it this time. This time I really, really mean it. I make the vow in the morning and break it in the afternoon.
Yep.
You break your vow before you even make it.
Yeah, those don't work. They just don't.
I can smell it right now. I can smell the old beer, the cigarette. The
Yeah.
stale cigarette. I
It was
can
so much
smell
that car, the car I had.
it.
I
Yeah.
remember the worst
in
hangover
the
I ever
back.
had.
They were in the
I
back
remember
seat.
I had a 3 day hangover. Me and John
Oof.
drank a bottle of 151 rum, and
Mm.
I had a 3 day hangover. That was bad.
Vomiting.
Oh yeah, vomiting blood, vomiting fucking bile, fucking
Is that
bad,
151?
bad. Yeah,
Yeah, that's like rubbing
big old handle of it
I
too. You
remember
know.
drinking flaming shots at.
That's a
Remember drinking
75%.
flaming shots at John
The old
Shed with
vomit
151?
smell.
75% alcohol.
Oh man,
Yep, pretty bad,
Pretty bad.
pretty bad.
So you're supposed to put just a little bit in a big smoothie.
So you know,
Then it's
a misspent youth. Like I didn't know how to drink. You know, like tipping a bottle of Jack and just chugging and all that stuff made me hate alcohol, like hard alcohol. I never liked whiskey or any of those things. You know. I still every time I drink whiskey, it still just reminds me of vomiting. Like I know what's
It's
coming.
vomit in a bottle.
Vomit
It's
in a bottle.
pre-vomit. You buy
Yeah.
some pre-vomit.
There's
Spend
certain
money
things
on that
you only
shit.
drink once in your life. Like schnapps.
Me?
No, me. There's a couple of liquors that I'll never drink again. I drank
Oh,
one.
Southern Comfort.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Southern Comfort mixed with
Never
Coke,
again, and
man.
that
That
one
was
sticks.
disgusting. That was
Comfort and
absolutely
Coke.
vomit producing nonsense.
Comfort and Coke.
No, nothing comforting about it.
No.
If I could smell it, just like you guys said, I could just smell it, and it just makes me want to. You know?
Just thinking about it. Oh my God. A lot of them. A lot of the like Yukon Jack, Jim Beam, all the ones with a name like that, you know, Jack Daniels.
That sucks.
I can't drink any of them.
They all have a personality.
Yeah, and they all beat the fuck out of me, every one of them.
Jim Beam wants to steal a car, but Jack Daniel wants to murder somebody.
Although Wild Turkey had a charm at 16 at the Ark Tavern with Ivor and Billy and Mike and whatnot, that had quite a charm to it.
Yep.
I don't know. For some reason, it brings me nostalgia for those days.
Yeah.
A little cheap red wine.
Wine. I never liked wine. Like, those. Yeah, that's another never.
It'll make
again.
It'll make
So-
you think some thoughts.
There are some. I really like wine. There are some really good wines, but you know,
Those
they're
follow
not
your
meant for-
thoughts, Mikey.
they're not meant for chugging. Like you know, like you don't want to get drunk on wine.
No, you don't. You really don't.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do.
That
The
cheap
first
red
and second
wine,
part
man.
is amazing. You know, it's just the ending that. It's the ending. It's the landing
Yeah.
that's no good. That's a never again that you stick with.
What's that stuff the wine they mix with fruit?
Oh man,
Sangria.
the
Sangria.
Sangria.
It's
And you can
wonderful.
drink that all night, man.
Really wonderful. Yeah.
It'll
Yeah,
come
no,
back to
people
bite you in the
find
I
that
like
ass.
way, but- It's definitely
I like
just
the Jerry
wash
Jeff
down the
Sangria.
spaghetti sauce, that's all.
Jerry Jeff Walker's song about sangria. I like that one.
And
How about
Riunite.
Zima?
Yeah, I mean, that's a
Remember
real party
Zima?
drink. Yeah.
I never had a Zima.
You know, that's
You
a
get those
drink.
I didn't like people with them. That's all I knew. If they were drinking a Zima, I'd just like walk away. You know, this is not gonna be good. Bad human. It was good. It was like almost like aha. Don't want to be around that.
They still make that stuff?
Oh fuck!
I
don't
can't
know.
remember.
Well, I hope not.
I was the guy with the Budweiser. I'm sure the people walked away from me too. The guy with the Bud in a can. Run away. There goes the neighborhood. They still make them. The Cape Bear.
Nostalgia, man. It brings back memories. That's wonderful memories, man.
Yep.
I wouldn't trade them for anything.
Yeah, we got
Even
lucky.
though some of them sucked, I wouldn't trade them for anything.
You
That's
get
right.
that wine in a little, that wine that the bottle's like in a little basket. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
What was that? Rianiti? Was that Rianiti?
Chianti. Chianti comes in a thing like that.
Chianti. Chianti.
Some of those are good.
They mess your mind, though. They mess up your mind.
Well, I mean, what doesn't? Sober life messes up your mind too.
Yeah, if you get caught, there's a lot of things you can get. It's not gambling. A gambling.
That's what it's
never
supposed to
happened.
do, mess with your mind. That's the whole point of it.
You kind of, all things in moderation, even moderation.
That's the whole point of it. It's all other.
Yeah, I tried a million things. I'm always finding some new thing I want to fucking do. It's just, it was like, for a while I was throwing knives. I was gonna go back to doing that. That was like, you know what I mean? Just like, I don't know. I picked this shit up, and I got obsessed with it for a while, and then I find some other thing. Once it was sharks. I mean, I don't know. Fuck, it's just Jesus. Then ships. Yeah, ships. And then I don't know, fucking customized vans. Yeah, customized vans. I don't know, drumming. What am I doing now? Oh yeah, book repair. For some reason, I like book glue.
Yeah.
I obviously don't even want to read a book unless I put the binder on it first. I'll just rip. Yeah. I did one backwards.
They hate you at the
day.
library.
I glued the wrong, not the binder. I glued this part, and I
Ooh.
didn't even realize it until I opened it. I went, so I had to cut that part off, and I do it again. Yeah, it's a classic. Oops.
Oops. You got to make your own covers for everything, Dave.
I've done that. I've got stuff for covers. Yeah, the Rolos with my covers.
Hey, when you were doing the Mid-Journey stuff, were you able to print any of that stuff out?
Oh, I don't have a printer for that shit. I just got a black and white LaserJet. But you could. Man, it would cost a lot of ink. It costs you ink. You got a plotter though, right?
I don't. I
Oh.
use the one at Staples.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, I think you even got rights to it. It's your prompt. It gives it to. Well, supposedly it's your image now, even though it's everybody else's shit stuck in there. I guess.
You see the ones where they make they remake a movie trailer, but they put it in 50 science fiction.
Yeah, I've been
style.
watching those this week. The movies are pretty wild. Like there was one they were showing. I can't remember which model because I don't care yet. But they had one. It was cutting a tomato, right? A film of it, and it was cutting it really nice. And then the other one next to it, it was cutting, but it's starting to get the fingers. Like the fingers were getting in there. Because it's AI. Everything's like, sometimes like 8 fingers, and now it's got the 3. But the other one was doing slicing. It was slicing a tomato, and it looked like a human slicing a tomato without anything, the weird stuff. That was this week. It's like a race. They're all racing each other. But I'm starting to get suspicious of emails. I know because I did Gemini. I put it on my phone and I talked to it. That talking to it shit. I did for I didn't even do it a minute. I said, all right, goodbye. Uninstall. But fuck me. Everybody, if you're using it now, I don't know if an email is AI because you can do that. That's one of the functions it does. It just it's going to be like it's just going to be your phones emailing each other. Whatever you could just keep it in your pocket. Forget it. It's running your life now. So I don't fucking know how that's working. But
We'll just go see people in person again.
Well, yeah. Well, this is what this is.
That's the point. I don't want you to know.
Dark, man. It's getting dark and getting darker.
It's always getting darker.
It's always getting darker,
Yeah.
and it's always getting lighter.
Yeah. It's like we're on some kind
I
of.
mean, the
pendulum.
tech, the tech that we rail against
Sunset.
is allowing us to do this right now.
Oh yeah.
So-
This is fucking great. Yeah, it was a good time to
Sunset's
be here.
4:11
Whatever it was.
p.m.
Man, we caught some
This
good
is as
shit.
dark as it gets, man. This is as dark as it gets.
No, it ain't, because you
4:11.
still have plumbing. Don't you still have plumbing, Mikey?
I got plumbing.
Well, it ain't
I
dark
meant the
yet.
dark. I meant it's getting dark, like 4:11 p.m.
Yeah, this
I
is the
love
darkest it gets. It doesn't get any darker
It's
than
a
this
solstice joke.
here.
We got 3 days. 3 days before it starts to get light, and those are the 3 days that rise from the dead.
That's right.
The
The sun,
Ghost.
part of the deification process of all.
the Son of God rises
all the
from the dead
gods.
again after 3 days. Yes.
You die at the solstice. You're reborn after 3 days.
Bonfire. Remember
Anyway,
the
it's
ice
still
that
good.
year, Mike? Everybody started disappearing. Like your whole yard was like stomped smooth, and it was like an ice rink. And like we had boots on that dug into it, right? But some people like I don't know, like dress shoes and shit, right? And then like you'd see in the corner of your eye, you'd just see somebody like disappear, right? It's like whoa, like, and they had like dress shoes on and shit. That was a fun one. That was great.
I think that was the one. Was that the one where it snowed all day and then it rained and it looked like it was going to be terrible
But it's,
and then the sky cleared and it was this most beautiful night?
yeah, your yard was an ice rink, kinda.
Yeah.
It was all smooth and white.
I was thinking of one of my favorite winter sculptures was that night. And I didn't do my sculpture because it was raining and it had snow. Then it was raining and it built this crust up over the snow, and then it cleared off. It was beautiful. And I went and I took a beer bottle. I made these 2 circles in the snow, and I dropped candles down inside, and they were glowing, and you
Yeah.
could see it was fire
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of
yeah.
the flickering of the candles, but it was under the snow. It was wild, really cool looking. That was fun,
That's
and
a good
it turned
idea.
out to be.
I want to do that. I never did.
It got cold. It was clear. There were beautiful stars. Like it ended
Yeah.
up, we had good fire.
Make a circle with candles and a bit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite ones.
Looks like a UFO. And you know what those UFOs are? They're drones. Because everybody's saying it. They were drones. They're drones.
Yeah,
It's gonna like
Yeah.
you know what? Next year I bet you Amazon will be delivering with drones, right? You know the first thing I'm gonna buy when they can deliver drones to you?
what?
A drone.
A drone.
Have a drone deliver a drone. That's gotta be number 1 on the list, right? And then you fly your drone because you're no good at it into the delivery drone. I don't know, fuck it. But that's coming. That next year. Everybody's going to be unemployed. There are no more truck drivers.
Pictures
There
of
will be
it.
drone drivers. Heavy metal
Well-
was right. Remember the very first, the one in New York? They had those things flying around. Everywhere you went in heavy metal, there was like a drone there. They would look weird. Like Captain Stern had one, remember?
Yeah, yeah.
Stern.
I was just thinking about that.
Guilty.
I've been looking up Mobius,
Oh yeah,
his cartoons.
I have an angle.
I have that one on Kindle.
Do you?
Yeah, all 3 of them. But Kindle sucks because I actually need a tablet, and this one I just got. I bought it. It was back when it was new. It was like a $300 tablet. Now it's like $45. I got with a Samsung. It's good enough. It'll do that. And it's a 10-inch, so I can read. You know, laying down. It's great. Those things it's cheap now. I just load it up and then I take the internet off. I put it in airplane mode for the rest of its life. You know. Just get it set up.
Well-
Yeah, Mobius. It's weird you brought it up because this is my big plan. Later on, next year, I get the thing the 31st. They say, according to the tracking. Yeah. Those 3 books Dan lent me.
You get what?
They were cool. I bought them a long time ago, and I tried to look at it on a 7-inch tablet, and it's no good on a computer. It just was driving me. It just sucked.
Yeah.
So now it's it's made for a 10-inch tablet. It's gonna be great.
Well, boys, it's been fun.
Yeah, it's quick too.
Have a good
Solstice.
happy
Happy
solstice,
Peace and love.
solstice, and a cool Yule. and,
Good Yule.
I'll call you when I'm
Cool.
heading to Dan's.
Have a cool Yule for
Have
you
a cool
y'all.
Yule, man.